New spells in Wizard 101 are very exciting, and oftentimes they are very useful as well. From the greatly appreciated Astral spells, which joined us in the Celestia update, to the new Shadow Magic that joined us in 2013, plus the quietly welcomed Burning Rampage, Sacred Charge, and Catch of the Day. New spells in Wizard 101 are awesome. Now, sit back and enjoy some of the next possible crop of spells that you could be casting in the game, suggested by users on Twitter. This is Must Have Wizard 101 Spells.
Can't wait so we can break apart to hit me if I seem a little unimpressed with this. An antisocial pessimist, but usually I don't mess with this.
What's up, guys? This is the Full Metal Sorcerer, and this is episode 1 of Must Have Wizard 101 Spells. These are all recommendations from Twitter that were tweeted in to Alexander Lionheart, who is another YouTuber. He is way bigger than I am. On the site, he has 17,000 subscribers, and he created a Twitter recently called Wiz Card Maker, where he basically creates Wizard 101 cards that people tweet ideas into him. So if you want to check him out, I will definitely have his link in the description because all of these cards come from his Twitter, and I'm just making them in a video form. So the point of these videos is to try and get King's Owl to maybe make some of these cards that would be pretty cool and not too overpowered. So let's get started. So our first spell is Polymorph Celestial, which would be a moon spell that would allow the wizard to obtain a mastery of the Myth School for 6 rounds and keep their deck while doing so. I think this would be a very useful spell if it was for all schools as well, where you could obtain a mastery of any school and keep your deck at the same time. So I hope King's Owl does something like this. Next we have Undying Malistaire, which would do 1800 shadow damage and swap that damage to the wizard. Half that damage to the wizard. It would cost 4 pips and 2 shadow pips. Now, this would be very useful for any wizard, considering the fact that death wizards get to use these type of spells all the time, and they are very useful for them. Next is Yuletide Ghosts of the Present. Now, this is a new type of spell that somebody suggested that would be combining 2 cards from your deck, and it would take up 2 spaces in your deck, but it would be one spell which will combine different schools. And he also just suggested another one which will be coming up in a second, and that one is called Yuletide Specters of the Past, which would do 1800 fire damage and life damage to one target, dispel the next incoming fire and ice spells to the self, and then it would do minus damage to fire and ice. Next is Lashback, which is a spell that would do plus 30 backlash to one enemy and remain for 2-5 rounds. I think this would be awesome to use, and it would really mess up the opponent in PvP. And even the bosses, imagine how much backlash they would do, considering the fact that they already do a lot. So I would love to see something like this. Next is Refine, which would be a new Sun spell which will remove 1 Shadow Pip cost to a spell. This would be so overpowered, and it would basically be Elucidate, but even stronger. So I don't know if King's Owl would do something like this. I would love to see something like this. However, it would probably be a rare treasure card, unfortunately. But yeah, we need something like this in the game, please. Next is Voodoo, which is probably my favorite spell suggested of today. Now this spell will reflect all incoming damage to the hitter for 1 round. This spell to use to stall your opponent in PvP when you need to save some time and you don't want to, waste many pips. And finally we have Titanic, which would add 300 damage to one spell, and the pip cost of the spell would be halved. Now I think this would be a very useful spell, and it would probably be too unreasonable for the game. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is something that you would have to ban from PvP, but yeah, either way, King's Owl needs to add something that helps the wizard reduce the amount of shadow pip or pip cost in general, like Elucidate, but that would be attainable. Thank you for watching this video, and if you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe to me and leave a like and comment your thoughts on some of these spells. Also, definitely follow WizCardMaker on Twitter and his actual account, Alexander Lionheart. You can tweet him at WizCardMaker some of ideas that you have for spells, and he will post them on Twitter, and maybe if I like them, will put them on my next video, and you could be featured on YouTube. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
so we can break apart the hear me